Hey, hi, how you doing? This is the Gamertron. Welcome back to the Gamertron show, and I am joined once with
What did you put that back again?
don't you hate it when you're trying to do your intro and your tongue gets tied? Yeah, I hate that. So
No,
this
because
is
I could, yeah, because I could actually make Jimmy Vollmer references. That's which, how did you put? It's which is great.
which is great. So if you guys didn't know already, I'm joined by Grindhead Jim, as I was trying to say before my tongue decided it wanted to turn into a snake. So precisely. This is the perfect way to start a video. People will absolutely take us seriously after this.
Right, because last time we were talking about shit for 5 minutes. So what's left?
Exactly.
Really,
Exactly.
Tu-
Nuclear
excrement, tongue
fallout.
tied.
Nuclear fallout. There's something.
Oh, really, really? Come on, man. Yeah, I mean, I'm good for like a bad reference and the puns I'm known for and whatnot. But we have a saying on the Quotidian podcast, and that's "file it." No, you don't get to keep that one. You just file that away. It's never to be spoken of again.
Agreed.
Nuclear
Okay.
fallout. Tell you, that's all.
Yeah. Fallout 4, everybody. It's been announced, as you guys probably already know. I uploaded a video about that, but as of making this video, I technically haven't uploaded it yet, so I don't know what the reaction to that video is yet. We'll find out soon in the future. But, want to make a follow-up video with my good friend Grindhead Jim here. We're going to talk about Fallout 4, we're going to talk about the development of the game, going to talk about the fan reaction, the reactions going on YouTube, around the internet, and just our opinions on the new Fallout and what we know of Fallout, what we're going to play of Fallout, yada yada yada, it's all Fallout. So, Jim, what is your experience with the Fallout series, and what was your reaction to Fallout 4? He already uploaded a video of his reaction to Fallout 4. I will have a link in the description and the comments section to his video and his channel. Let me shut up and let Jim talk.
I don't have nearly as much to say as I normally would. I have extremely limited access to Fallout. I have spent more time watching it than playing it because I have never ever picked up the sticks or the mouse for a Fallout game. It was one of these things where when it came out, it was in the interim when I was just not playing a lot of current gen stuff. I didn't have a PC capable of playing them, and I just fell through the cracks on that series, and it was something that never came up. And then when I upgraded my PC about a week prior to that, my one of my best friends who I live with, he upgraded his PC as well, which is a monster. And had been messing. I think I've mentioned it in conversations before, where he was doing a lot of modding for a long period of time, and so he started doing Fallout, and he was showing me all the texture variants and whatnot he could do, and the game seemed really legit, like just a lot of fun. And it's one of these things where I know this developer, I know Bethesda. This is one of the games that they've done that I've never really touched. I've certainly looked at anything it's done, which I believe Bethesda's kind of had their hands in from time to time. And then also, of course, like, Elder Scrolls Morrowind, that kind of thing. But, and always had a great respect for the developer, but I never really touched it. But everything I've seen and everyone I know who's a tried to, Fallout fan, I respect their opinion. The series has a great pedigree to it. It's just not something that made its way into my vernacular at any given point. So, although I appreciate and understand the thought process that goes into some people's reactions to a game like this, I personally am not one of the people that's excited about this particular game because I just don't have anything invested in it. I'm not going to sit here and say that I expect this game not to do well or anything of that sort. It's just not my thing. So I like to think I'm coming from a very genuine outsider's opinion that has an open mind. So seeing some of the opinions we've been seeing online, and some of the other things we want to talk about today, like, it kind of shocked me a little bit. So I appreciate the opportunity to kind of bring some outsider logic into it.
Which is exactly what we need, because you're an outsider who hasn't played too much Fallout but knows about it. I'm someone who's big into Fallout. Well, I'm not. I like other games more than Fallout, but Fallout is still an important series to me. Like, I got Fallout 3 as a birthday gift from my brother, and I knew Fallout existed, but was never really into it. Then my brother got it for me. He said, "Ryan, you have to play this game. You have to check it out." Got it for my birthday, installed it, played it, and I was wowed. had played Fallout 3 before I played Skyrim, so Fallout 3 was like my first real game, my first real introduction into an open world survivor RPG kind of game. While I'd played open world games before it, like Prototype Count, and Borderlands, Fallout 3 was different. Fallout 3 was different in that it gave you so much more freedom, so much more customization, and gave you such a huge open world to explore. And I have a real respect for Bethesda for the amount of work they take just into the world, just into the environment. In other games, like the environment, like, of course it's important and you put those little details, but usually the environment is something, well, you not necessarily rush through, but something you want to get done and then focus on everything else. With Bethesda, and I find with their games, Skyrim, Fallout, yada yada yada, Elder Scrolls, they take so much time just on the world, just on the environment. Like, you stand in a specific place, you'll notice something you've never noticed before, you search a certain area, you'll find a secret path, that sort of thing. That sort of stuff I love, and it's why I love Fallout and Skyrim for building these worlds that they're one of a kind. They're one of a kind video games, and I can see why people love them, especially the Fallout series. It's a unique world. It's the 1940s, 30s, in the future, in the apocalypse. That's a unique setting to have. And so I really do have a love for Fallout, and it really is shocking me. I didn't know. I knew fans of Fallout, but I never knew they would give such reaction. They would have such reactions to the final announcement of Fallout 4, because until this week when Fallout 4 was announced, Fallout fans were just like, when's Fallout 4? When's Fallout 4? When's Fallout 4? Bethesda, please announce Fallout 4. Is this Fallout 4? Oh, it's not Fallout 4. That sort of thing, which is, I could expect that from a hardcore fan. I still think it's silly, but I expect that from a hardcore fan. Then Fallout 4 is announced, the trailer comes out, and the reactions it's despicable. The reactions are despicable. First off, anyone who's not excited for Fallout 4, anyone who's going, meh, don't really care, the Fallout friends are tearing them a new one. It's ridiculous. Like, where did common sense and common decency and different opinions, did they go out the window for Fallout fans all of a sudden? Like,
I don't think they did it just for Fallout fans. I think this is definitely the year for overreaction. I mean, well, right? And kind of put like not too fine a point on things. I mean, just to give people some perspective on when we recorded this today, the Uncharted remastered series was announced for PlayStation. Some people are really digging it. Other people are losing their motherfucking minds. And
another remaster.
Well, again, I said the same thing about this that I did about the Last of Us remaster, which is real simple. You cannot, discount the proportion of PS4 owners, for example, that didn't have a PS3, didn't have an opportunity to play the earlier games in the series. And when you're banking your primary exclusive title as the fourth in a series of games, you'd better fucking give them access to that game or else you're not going to sell. It's really important. And for those of us that love those games, it's a value to be able to play it at a higher texture and a better graphics on the system that we are now using and will be using for at least the next 5 years or so. I don't think it's a problem. If you don't want to play it, then don't play it. And
unfortunately,
I think
Fallout fans don't get that.
Right.
I don't
exactly.
understand. Like, some people, the Fallout games aren't for everyone, and I can understand why. I mean, Fallout, the types of games they are, the open world sandbox, survivor, customization, complete customization, just giving the player so much freedom. Some gamers don't like that. Some gamers like linear, goal-based games, where they have a goal, the game tells them what to do, they do it, they go in a straight line. Fallout isn't that. You have side quests, you have main quests, and you have this huge open world to do whatever the hell you want. No one's forcing you to do anything or go anywhere specific. And some gamers just don't like that. They like direction. While some gamers absolutely love freedom, we know they love freedom. Like, look at the sales of Just Cause 2, the recent release of The Witcher, and the critical praise of Dragon Age Inquisition. People love Dragon Age Inquisition so much more than other Dragon Age games, me included, because it was more like an open world game and gave you more freedom. I even made a video about this, how gamers love love freedom. There are a great majority of gamers who love freedom, but Fallout gives you total freedom, and some gamers just aren't ready for that, don't like that. And some people may not just like the apocalyptic 1930s, 40s setting. Some people just won't like that. The game's not for everybody. And I didn't expect when Fallout 4 came out for Fallout fans to give such a harsh reaction and just attack people who aren't excited for the game or being critical about the game.
And it is something that I always expect a certain degree of people to be like that.
It's
You'll
the
have
internet.
that,
There's
right?
going to be assholes.
Right, exactly. But this idea, because what is difficult for me to articulate sometimes is the fact that I think in general, most people probably should exercise a live and let live policy. I've said it before in some of my videos. We've talked about this countless times, and I have a feeling my friend will be talking about this subject for years to come. It's that the existence of one person's opinion does not exist to negate someone else's. It simply differs. It's simply different. It's something that is by design just meant to live on its own. If it contradicts someone's opinion, that doesn't mean it's meant to negate. It's an opposing viewpoint. It's an opposing idea. And that's how ideas spark. That's how creativity flows. It's how things get done in Western culture. People disagree and they hopefully see each other's side of things. And if they don't, that is what it is.
And they move on.
But just the existence of an opposing opinion should not threaten anyone, because just like with any sort of faith, using religion as an example, the existence of someone who doesn't share your belief should not threaten your belief, because if your faith is strong enough in your ideals, nothing should flap it. And it's no more true and no more important, I feel, in the things we love the most. For some people, that's religion. For some people, that's politics. And for people of our two generations in culture, it's gaming, entertainment. And and so I understand that in a arguably a society where religion is really kind of pushed aside by a lot of people, young people that play games. It's not to make a point about religion necessarily, except to say that if they're not latching onto that as their faith or their tome, gaming and the things that they love, they tend to deify. And if you deify something, there's a certain kind of fanaticism that takes place, okay? Now, I'm not saying that some dude's going to strap on a bomb with a Fallout shirt on and go bomb, a Destiny fucking reveal or something like that. I am not trying to say that gamers are going to become terrorists and all this shit.
No, God, no.
So don't say that. Although there is probably a nice satire in there somewhere. I'm not going to be the one to film it. So
I don't want to set the world on fire, if you know what I mean.
On fire, but whatever. I get the reference, but it's not gonna do that. I'm not saying that. However, people do get that level of devotion, that level of faith in something that kind of makes them lose reason. It puts blinders on them. And this is just the latest example in a long line of these things.
Yeah, it's been happening all year, really.
God, yeah.
Like it was here and there in 2015. It really happened this year. I mean, with The Witcher Free, when The Witcher Free came out, I made a video on this. Other gamers start attacking other gamers for not liking The Witcher Free or not praising The Witcher Free enough. Like, I watched a review where someone gave The Witcher Free an 8 out of 10, and there were these people in the comment section going, 8 out of 10? What's wrong with you? This is a 10 out of 10 game. Like, they just couldn't handle someone else's opinion or rating of a game.
And that's, unfortunately where we are as a culture. And again, it speaks volumes to the culture that we're talking about, using that as an example, because it seems to me, and I wish I was wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm not, that the internet culture at large, especially, on YouTube and places where you can instantly share your opinion, that for some reason, people seem to think that a game is either a 10 or a 1. That they can't accept that there are merits and demerits on a sliding scale, but above all else, they just don't recognize it is based solely on opinion. It's an opinion. So, like you said it before. When Angry Joe says, "I feel this game is this," that's his opinion of that particular game, based on his love or dislike of a particular type of game. We've had that discussion before. And here we are talking about the exact same phenomenon in a different way. And, so my video states pretty succinctly, spoilers, that I'm not excited for Fallout, but I understand why people are, and I hope it's going to be a great game. Clickbait at its finest. Again, spoilers. So, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say anything but. So, however, of the likes and dislikes that I've had at the time of this recording, 2/3 of the comment feedback has been positive. 1/3 has been negative. I am willing to bet that lower 30%, I would say over half of those didn't watch the video.
They read
did
the
what
title.
they did what I call reverse clickbait. In fact, one of your videos, I commented on it this morning. I'm not going to name the video. I'm not going to name the person. I got into a back and forth with them over my opinion on something, and it wasn't disrespectful in any way, and I appreciate that the conversation remained, good. But it became apparent after about 3 back and forths that this individual hadn't actually listened to the video. And I'm like, I'm not going to make my point over again. Just watch the damn video. And the conversation promptly stopped. And that individual also appears to have subscribed to my channel because they commented on one of my videos. So apparently, if you just hold people to something, they're going to be cool and do things. So that individual, you probably know who you are if you're listening. So thank you for keeping the conversation civil and just, doing as I ask, because I appreciate that. But it again illustrates a point that people are always quick to judge. And again, with Fallout, using this as the example because we want to keep somewhat on topic for once. Go figure, right? But in the vein of Fallout, what we're talking about here is this has been something that's been teased, and Bethesda has done an amazing job of developing it mostly in secret. Nothing's been leaked up until now, not really anyway. And so the anticipation for this game by people who are actual fans of the series has been extremely high, with good reason. And I think it's going to be a great game for them. But at some point, you have to understand that no matter what it is, again, today's day and age, generations are what they are. So again, Fallout 3 came out, 6 years ago?
2008.
5 years ago? Yeah, so 7 years ago now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 7 years ago this came out, and they haven't released a release date for Fallout 4, have they?
No, they haven't, although it's rumored to be this year, 2015, sometime this year.
I would guess as well. I think that would make the most sense based upon the available information. Mm-hmm. However, they did the reveal for, again, like Uncharted, and then turned right around and said they were delaying it until 2016. So you never know what's going to happen, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with doing a reveal and releasing it a year later, slightly over a year later. Mm. That's acceptable. It's when you do the teaser and it doesn't come out for 4 fucking years that you get like a Colonial Marines kind of situation, So I think Bethesda's done a great job of keeping it under wraps and doing things well. But because it's been almost a decade since the last one came out, of course there's going to be a fever pitch when it comes out. But you would hope that there would exist a degree of emotional maturity that would at least allow for the understanding that there's the possibility of an opposing opinion and being respectful of that opinion.
Or not just an opposing opinion, just a more moderate in the middle opinion. People aren't saying, oh, Fallout 4 sucks, why the hell are they making this? People are saying, not for me, just not excited for it. And Fallout friends,
They're Fallout friends, that's for sure. They're fiends, too.
Fallout fans are losing their minds. Like, they can't handle the fact, like, so how can you not be excited for Fallout 4? How can you not be excited for Fallout 4? Like, just not excited. Like, I can't believe I'm about to state this, but I love Fallout 3, and I'm not excited for Fallout 4. I'm moderately excited. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing the reviews and all that. But I'm not like super pumped. I'm not pumped. I'm not hyped. Not anything. I'm indifferent. That's the word I was looking for. Indifferent. Yeah. I'm indifferent, and I'm a big fan of Fallout 4. I mean, free.
With one screenshot released, how could you be anything but? Asking someone to be hype over a screenshot and an official confirmation.
Oh, and a trailer.
It's lunacy. Like as far as the trailer is the trailer. I mean, let's face it. The trailer is pre-rendered. It's there to be hype. There's only been one screenshot of actual in-game stuff that I've seen anyway, as of this recording, and it's like, okay, that's great. I'm glad people are excited, but you know, I just don't understand. Like it's disproportionate,
Mm-hmm.
disproportionate lunacy, disproportionate excitement, and then when that fervor is met with, some kind of temperament or reason, let alone like, and even then, like I think that people are seeing the lack of fanaticism. Anything other than, oh my god, Fallout 4 is being met with this kind of fear because they're worried that they're going to have to defend this thing they love in the way you have to defend it when someone comes up and does say, "Oh wow, it sucks."
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if that's not part of why this is happening. That would be my guess. I think a lot of it comes from a certain degree of fear of having to defend it, and no one wants to have to, step up to someone saying that your favorite thing sucks.
Yeah, I
That's like the
know.
worst thing in the world.
But
Like,
that's
but
that. Now I could understand that if that's what was happening. If someone was
right,
saying Fallout 4 sucks, and they say, well, no, it doesn't. It does this right. It does this right. I like this. I'd be perfectly fine with that. But because people are saying meh, that's it. Just saying meh, and they attack them. Just it's wrong. You can't swing it any other way. It's wrong. Not everybody's going to like the same things you like. Some people are excited for Fallout. Others aren't going to be. That's just something that needs to be accepted, and then that's really all that needs to be said. Now, before
yeah,
this video goes on for too long, there is one other thing about Fallout I want to talk with you, Jim. We talked about our
sure.
experiences. We talked about the ridiculous fan reaction, but there is one criticism going around the internet that focuses around the Fallout trailer, and it's starting to brew up a little controversy, and people are wondering if the graphics have been downgraded.
Oh, for fuck's sake, man.
The game's not even released, and people are wondering if there's going to be a graphical downgrade. And there's some people even saying, based off the trailer, that the graphics they look like previous generations. The graphics look like crap, basically, what people are saying, based on one trailer. Not actual. We haven't seen any actual gameplay, even though the trailer states that there's gameplay in the trailer, and people are already complaining about the graphics.
You know, all right. I try really hard to be the voice of reason. I try really hard to understand all viewpoints. But this entire argument, if you are having this argument and you're trying to, have a rational discussion of any kind about the graphics of a game that has nothing more released than a screenshot and a trailer, go fuck yourself immediately. That is stupid. It is just stupid. There are better things to do with your time. Wait until there's something of substance. And if you're on the internet and you really need something to argue about, um, look in the mirror, find something you don't like about yourself, and then troll Reddit until you find someone that embodies that trait about yourself you don't like. I promise you, you'll never ever have a more intense conversation about anything. This desperate need to analyze things and give our opinions on it. And granted, I understand that I am a huge hypocrite in this regard at this moment of what I speak. It's sickening. It's like, have an opinion. Everyone's entitled to it, and I think that everyone, as long as
Yeah,
you're
but this
reasonable
is.
and
I'm
respectful
sorry
about
to
it, this is
interrupt you, Jim.
unreasonable.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is unreasonable. I have to interrupt you, Jim. Like, I've seen the trailer. I've seen the trailer. Actually, I've watched it multiple times, and from what I saw, the graphics were graphics. There was nothing good, nothing bad. I saw no blurry textures. I saw no texture popping, and like you said, it was probably pre-rendered. The colors seemed bright. Like, I saw nothing to criticize graphics-wise. One, we haven't seen enough because it was mostly scenic views of the environment. I haven't seen animations or enough character models. But like people complain that the textures on the dog's fur were blurry. It's like, come on, man. Like, wait for the game. I find it silly to
yeah.
I find it silly to comment about video game graphics even when the game is released. Like, people were complaining that the Witcher Freeze graphics were downgraded. Who cares? If the game looks good, it looks good. Same thing with Watch Dogs. Were the graphics downgraded? Yes. Does the game look good? Yes. Watch Dogs still looks good. If the graphics look good, that's all that matters. But this game
Right.
hasn't even been announced yet, and people are basing their criticism on the graphics of this video game that hasn't even been released yet. Like,
Right. You can't have a discussion about downgraded graphics when you've only seen one set of graphics. So if the gameplay comes
Well,
out
they were
and the
mostly
graphics are
comparing
worse,
it to older Fallout games by downgrade.
okay, sure. So okay, all right. So one thing I learned about Fallout early in my exposure to it is that it has an extremely wide range of graphical fidelity. So let's say, for the sake of argument, that the trailer was rendered at medium to medium high settings. And maybe the dog's fur is a little blurry because of that. But I bet you that motherfucker runs at ultra like a beast. But, it's just, hey, look, when I look for a game in graphical fidelity, I look for smoothness, I look for consistency of performance, not the fucking dog's fur. All right? If that means that much to you, you are playing games for the wrong reason. You need medication, and you should probably stop trying to wash your hands so much that your hands bleed. Okay? It's okay. A lot of people have that problem, but keep your nose out of freaking critiques on graphics because you're clearly paying too much goddamn attention. At some point, we have to remember that this is only entertainment. This is something meant to entertain, and nothing we do, say, or feel about gaming will ultimately define us. When our days are over. If it does, it's because you had a career in gaming, whether it be as a player or as a designer. And that's fine. But ultimately, for the guy that plays as an escape, I understand why you have the passion for it, and I commend you for it, and I hope that you have many years of loving games. But if that's the ultimate goal here, if our ultimate goal is to really enjoy this pastime and enjoy the experiences it gives us, why are we wasting our energy on
Graphics.
these, right, on these arguments that are, let's say, like a cigarette takes 7 minutes off your life. I bet you a heated troll debate takes like 7 hours off your life,
Yeah.
man, because it's really taxing on the soul. And I get passionate about the argument because I feel for the people that don't understand that they cannot have the argument. Have your opinion and be proud that that's your opinion. You don't have to be swayed. No one's asking you to change your mind. But beyond that, look what you're talking about. You're talking about rendered pixels from zeros and ones on a screen that'll make up the assets of a game that we haven't even fucking seen yet. Like, why? What do you waste? I don't understand.
Neither do I, man. Neither do I. Well, thank you so much for joining me, Jim. I'm sorry. That last topic I brought up must have given you a few gray hairs there. Sorry.
Oh, I already got a few. It'll be a matching set. We're good, dude.
Excellent. So that's our thoughts. That's our feelings on Fallout 4 and the reactions to Fallout 4 so far. Honestly, guys, Fallout 4 looks like it's going to be good. It looks like it's going to be more Fallout. And what more can you ask for than more Fallout, which is what people were asking for to begin with.
Why isn't it more like Call of Duty? It's just stupid.
Man, exactly. So this has been a video. This has been me and Jim talking about Fallout. And Jim, if more people want to hear you passionately talk about this entertaining pastime, where can they go to find you?
They can go to grindheadgym.com, youtube.grindheadgym.com, or for the live stuff, twitch.grindheadgym.com.
Awesome, awesome. So you guys keep on exploring the wastelands in whatever Fallout game you're playing. We're going to wrap up this video, and we'll see you guys later.
Rolf!